I'm so excited to be able to bring up our guest speaker. I've known this gentleman for years, for over a decade. We've been friends. And for those of you that don't know his background, he's done a lot of things: a bartender, an actor. He's been able to build a craft and create results and residual income in that industry, in the entertainment industry. But he was able to take his know-how and his understanding of people, and he put his head down and went to work in ACN. And he's been able to create a massive, massive organization because he loves to help people win. He loves to have fun. He also loves great music. If you guys don't know about him, he has a good ear for music as well. But I'm really excited to hear what he has to say this morning about how to build your ACN business. So without any further ado, I want to introduce my good friend, Regional Vice President, Mr. Dean Tarrolly. Good morning.
Greetings from Burbank, and Jamar, I know you had some challenges there. I was on for all of it, man. Let me tell you, we could have done a training on what it is that you did. I'll start right there. Actually, you know what? Let's take it back a step. How about this? I got to see if it's going to be very difficult. So here we go, you guys. Do not judge this. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, I can't do it. You know, his ears got to be ringing somewhere 30,000 feet in the air, wherever he is. So appreciate Mr. Thomas having me back. So we're going to have some fun. Have a couple things to go over with you guys. So Jamar, again, thank you. Thank you for hosting and opening up. And Julie, man, we've known each other for a long time. It's really, really great to see you on here. So, and congrats on everything that you have going on in and out of ACN. So you guys, I gotta tell you, some of you are new because I know you guys have joined the team maybe recently, and some of you, we've been chopping this thing up for a while. Like, I've been doing this with you guys for a while, and sorry that the light's not that great. The sun's trying to come around here and needed to do this out in the patio today, but we've been doing this for a while, and I really thought about this. Like, for those of you that have been on and you've seen me go over stuff, it's like, man, what have I not covered? And it's really interesting because you guys have all been, most of you have been to national trainings, and we've heard leaders train, and we hear our leaders train, the people that we work closest with train. And it really is true that sometimes people just need to hear a different voice and the message is the same. Do you guys understand that? I mean, I want to make this thing so simple so we can advance everybody's businesses. The message is the same. Sometimes it just requires a different voice. It requires a different deliverer of that message. Black, white, male, female, older, younger, in your industry and not in your industry. So why is it that the message is now the services change and the comp plan gets enhanced and those kind of things? And obviously what's going on with Impact right now is a big deal. Our team had an amazing call about that yesterday. Unbelievable. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, so if we know the core basic things to do, getting customers, building teams, promoting events, we know that and understand that sometimes the same deliverer of the message, it's not that they're not effective, it's that we're too used to hearing them. So I got to thinking about this and I'm like, so what do we really want to accomplish? Right? What April needs to be what we're accomplishing. This is Accomplish April. What do we want to accomplish? And so regardless of what point someone is at in their ACN business, I got to thinking about this and I'm like, well, the first thing that has to happen is that people have to take responsibility and educate themselves. So the very first thing I want you to write down is educate yourself, educate myself. What does that look like, right? Well, you guys, we have a lot of services. The comp plan, it's amazing to me, you guys. You know, I know Al's not on the call, so Julian, I'll turn to you as a senior person, permission to be direct. There's a lot of people, you guys, that are at positions in our company that don't know the comp plan. They don't even know where to find the compensation plan document on ACN Compass. So when I say educate yourself, one of the things that I think is important is that we want to, do you guys want a team of confident people or people that are not confident? You want confident people. Confidence comes from a bunch of things. Number one is knowledge, right? Now, knowledge can be gained along the way. You don't have to know everything about everything before you do anything in ACN, but you want to build a knowledge base so you have confidence, so you have confident leaders. How about this? Confident team members. Maybe they're not even leaders yet. They haven't developed, but I'm telling you that comes out of confidence, comes out of knowledge. And then, right, the first thing is educate yourself. The second thing is practice time. What does that really mean? Practice time means applied knowledge. So there's getting the knowledge. Now you have to apply that knowledge, right? Right. And then the third one is game time. It's game time. It's get out into the world and go start talking to people. So educate yourself, practice time, and game time. All right, so let's talk about those three things. We can't, how do I say this? We can educate you, we can't educate yourself. Let me tell you let me distinguish what I'm saying here. You can show up to a training, right? You can show up to a conversation. You can show up to a PBR or a PBZ. You can show up, but not level up. You can show up, you can be present, but not be present. You can be there, but not there. What does that mean? Like, you guys, it's not just about getting a ticket to the event. It's about what do you think about it like this. I don't even have this in my notes. It's not about getting into the event. It's what are you getting out of the event? Anybody can get into the event. Anybody can get a ticket. Anybody can show up to a PBR or a PBZ. But what are you getting out of the event? So I'm going to tell you guys something like that. But you guys, we could do an hour and a half on what I just said. It's not getting into the event, it's getting out of the event. What are you getting out of it? Well, here's some things. If you have a leader that's doing a PBZ or a PBR, join in, right? If you're a leader on this call, invite your top people. Try not to do anything alone. So when you start to get people to educate themselves, and they start to, you start to map out a game plan for them, and then it becomes practice time into game time. Those people do not need to do that alone. And as a leader, I would share with you that it is really your responsibility to be there for that person, put them through the process properly. Not to get all cliche, but inspect what you expect. I'll give you guys a great example that this literally just happened, and I'm not going to go into any detail, but let's just say that there's a person on my team. She's awesome, and she had to relaunch a business. I'm not going to tell you her name. It's Roxanne. Okay, so we relaunched a business partner, and Roxanne, can I tell a little bit of this? Okay, thanks. All right, cool. You guys, please get this. This is so crucial. Whether someone is brand new or they're getting their business relaunched. So it's a great guy. He's a great guy. So Roxanne tells me that she had a conversation with this individual and wanted to relaunch his business. And here's what she said as a leader. She said, "How do you want to do this? Should I get out of the way because we're too close?" Exactly what I just described. "Or should I be there?" And here's what I said. I said, "Roxanne, please be there. I want you included in." Now, by the way, you guys, could Roxanne have relaunched that business on her own? She could have. She absolutely could have. But she didn't. So she used the greatest asset that we all have in ACN. You can write this down. The greatest asset that we all have are the leaders that are available to us. And they are available. So what she did was she put this gentleman in front of me, and we relaunched his business. And there are now things happening in his business, right? Which is really great. So what does this mean? It means that even somebody who has attained the position of regional director utilizes the buddy system, not having to do everything on your own. Let me tell you why this is so critical to understand. Everything that you do in ACN duplicates, good or bad, right or wrong, effective or ineffective. That is going to duplicate out in your organization. If you do everything on your own, if you are a one-man or a one-woman army, I'm letting you know that is what you are teaching your team to do. If you always have somebody with you, your team starts to do that. Now your business starts to multiply. It doesn't add, it starts to multiply. Because now when you get into the game of multiplication and you get out of the game of addition, right, and you get into multiplication, that's how ACN works. Like, look, you guys, we want an absolute ton of customers. You want a ton of customers in your business. I'm going to tell you, the chances of you getting an absolute ton of customers to make a financial impact just on your own is going to be challenging, really challenging. So then the idea is, let's build a team. Am I saying don't get customers? Absolutely not. There's no money made without customers. But if you have a whole bunch of people on your team and nobody is educated on the proper ways to do this business, you've spent no practice time with them and they never get in the game, you guys, why did we sign them up? So how do we accomplish the goals that you have? We need to create success stories for these brand new people. How do you do that? You show them where to watch things to get educated. Take a minute and go through ACN Compass. Take a minute, map out a game plan for them to help them get promoted and paid. Show of hands, is this making sense so far? Just really curious. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. All right, awesome. So here's the issue with the buddy system, right? It takes a little planning. It takes a little work. Hey, Charles, are you available? Ryan, you available? Right? Sharon, you available? I'm going to be launching this person. I want you guys to see how I'm doing this, right? Sharon, Charles, Ryan, I'm going to be doing a presentation. Are you available? I'm going to be explaining the business. Are you available? Right? Now, they're not reaching out to me. I'm reaching out to them. But if you're lucky enough and you find the right person will reach out to you. Tell me what to do. Tell me where to go. Tell me what to say. Right? And people, when they get around a leader that is a vision caster, when they get around a leader who has a game plan, when they get around a leader who has a plan for the new person, here's what happens. Oh man, I hope you guys get this. When you have a leader that has a game plan for the new person, the fear level of the new person goes down because they know that they have someone that has a plan for them. When you have a plan for them and you can map out the game plan, one of the things that I teach my leaders in my team is 5 services, 5 exposures, 5 days. Like that's accomplishable. And whatever your leader teaches you to get someone's business off to a really good start, great. Follow that system, and then you have to protect it. What do I mean by that? How do you get great results when it gets to game time? You have to protect your system. You have to protect what's working, and you have to be diligent. Like, well, what if I want to do it this way? Well, that's not how we do it. Now, you can do ACN any way you want, but you want to build a duplicating business. You want to build a business that gets customers. You want to get a business that is enrolling team members. You want to get a business that is advancing and it's accomplishing the goals that you set out. It all rises and falls on duplication. And what are you duplicating? Is it simple? So when you take that person, you guys get this, when you take a person through this process and you do it a few times, it is going to reveal itself how simple this thing really is. So why don't we get more people to that point? And how come we don't get more people to that point faster? The reason, I believe, falls on the leadership, that they're not really diligent, consistent, and committed about trying to use the buddy system. And if you don't, ACN can be a middle to high paying job. But if you get and enroll that buddy system and you have people duplicating out with you what it is that you're doing, now you have a chance for exponential growth. You have the chance for leaders to start developing independently. So there's proof actually on this call. So our company's newest regional vice president, Ryan Ruiz, he's on the call. Well, I referenced Roxanne Corlejo a moment ago. Roxanne is a leader that's in Ryan's team. So go figure. So there was a story happening with a leader under a leader. How would you guys feel? I'm really asking you, how would you feel if you had layers of leaders that could do the basic things that you can do? Would you be excited about your ACN business? Yes or no? They're calling you saying, hey, do you have a minute for a three-way call? I can't stand it when these, man, this guy keeps calling me to do calls. Great. That's what you want. That's what we're looking for. I mean, somebody says it, man, they keep calling me to do these calls and, they got to give me more time. Look, man, are you bragging or complaining? Yeah, I mean, I think that's brag. I think you got to be bragging about that. This is a volunteer army. Tyler, let me tell you, I don't know whose team you're on, but I'm telling you right now, mark my words, there's anybody on this call would be willing to do three-way calls with you. I just, because I know the nature of the people that are on this call, right? They don't have to be your upline to do it. Now, you guys understand, everybody does have an upline. So okay, there you go. Joshua already just answered. He'll do three-way calls for you. Done. Just handled it. Done. That's how a team works. And people go, well, gee, Joshua doesn't, I mean, he's not on, he's not his downline. He's not on his team. Like, why would he be doing that? Well, let me tell you guys, even though you might be doing something for someone in an organization that you have no financial benefit out of it, trust me, you'll have a financial benefit. You want to know what it is? You'll have the story of being a selfless leader that's going out of their way to help someone with or without the fact that they are financially tied to you. How great. How great. I've had leaders from other teams do calls and teach and train. My team had one yesterday. Gentleman had no financial interest in our business, but man, did he train us up for sure. Right. So understand, when you start to create that environment and now you start to see what will happen. Trust me when I tell you, it will get paid back. It always comes full circle. Always. Right? You should be proud to be a part of an organization that actually encourages that. Absolutely. You guys, look at what you guys, this is why, see, this is just leadership showing itself right in front of your eyes. Guys, look at the chat. Look at the chat and look at the last comment that was made by Roxanne. Just go ahead and read it. It's 100% right. 100% right. Three-way call, if you're an executive team leader, you can do a three-way call with another executive team leader. If you're the person doing the three-way call, you're receiving the call and you're trying to get the person to an event. You're trying to answer a few questions. You're trying to promote the next Zoom or PBR or PVZ or whatever the case may be. Maybe you're just trying to get that person to schedule a time to look at the information. Anybody can do that. You guys walk in with confidence. Like understand something. You guys, I want you to be unapologetically excited about the ACN opportunity. That's what I hope for all of you, right? I mean, you guys, look, I'm not gonna, this could open up a whole nother call, but you guys understand the state of things right now. Like things, I believe things are about to get tricky. I believe the economy, I believe there's a whole bunch of things. And man, we have a solution. If you have a solution, you guys know there's a problem out there. We have a solution for them, part-time, plan B, on the side, around their lives, to get some bill-paying money coming in, and it could grow into a heck of a lot more if someone chose to. Just a little side note, you guys, when the economy does well, ACN does great. When the economy is shaky, ACN is outstanding. Because now people can start to bet on themselves. So the bottom line in this whole process of educate yourself, get some practice time in, and then it is game time, and just don't do it alone. And for those of you who've been to the Lake Tahoe leadership, we cover this like crazy, right? The duplication buddy system is really simple. You can write it down. I know you've written it down before. I'm telling you to write it down again, because here's how it goes. I do it, you watch. Just write that down. I do it, you watch. The next one is we do it together. We do it together. So I do it, you watch, we do it together. Here's the next one. You do it, I watch. The third one is you do it, I watch. And the fourth one is you do it, someone else watches. There's the duplication process. Now, is it just going to be one time with each one of those? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. It'll probably be like, 2 to 3 times of I do it, you watch. 2 to 3 times of we do it together. 2 to 3 times if you do it, I watch. And the magic happens in the fourth one. You do it, someone else is watching. And now you have a team and people and leaders that are building with or without your attendance. Do you need to be available to help them? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you guys, you know, and we'll talk about this at some point during this month, but sometimes what happens is because we are, you know, inherently control freaks, right? As human beings, like we love to control, like sometimes you got to let your new person stretch their wings. Like they got to skin their knees up a little bit. Like that has to happen. That is an inevitable part of growth in anything, is that growing process, and growing is uncomfortable, right? Growing is uncomfortable. Growing can, there can definitely be, you know, some pain. There can definitely be, you know, some scars, right? But that is what's going to make you and develop you into the leader, not only that you can be, but the type of leader that's going to attract people into your business. So it's interesting, you guys. You know, a lot of times I like to show you guys a video, something that strikes me, and I found this. And some of you might know this story, and some of you may not. And either way, it's okay. But I want to show this to you. So I want you guys just to watch this, and I want you to listen about somebody who, I think it's knowledge versus heart is kind of what strikes me about this. Knowledge is super important. We covered that, educating yourself, but I'll take heart every time because knowledge can be acquired, right? So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping you guys can hear this. This is really good.
Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, once took 2 candidates for dinner. They were both graduates of the same university. They had the same GPA, grade point average. They were both geniuses. They finished the dinner. They walked out of the restaurant. And as soon as they walked out, Ford said to the one, "You're hired." And he said to the other one, "We won't be proceeding together. Thank you very much for a lovely dinner." And the young guy summoned the courage and said, "Mr. Ford, can I ask you something, sir? We never spoke about engineering. We never spoke about cars. We never spoke about the university. We only spoke about general things. Why are you hiring my friend and not myself?" And Mr. Ford said, "For 2 reasons. The first one is that your friend tried his steak and then he put salt. You put salt and then you tried your steak. I like people who try things before they make changes. And the second and most important reason of them all, your friend was polite with all the waiters, saying thank you and please. They were invisible for you, all the waiters. You only were polite when you were addressing me." So a great leader, somebody you want to impact your organization, doesn't have to see hierarchy. He has to see human beings.
I saw that and I was like, so what is he saying? How do you relate it to ACN? Take a leap of faith and try what we're teaching you before you go altering it. Take a leap of faith and just a little bit of trust that the leaders that are here with you, there's a system in place for you to learn. You want to try some things, you want to come up with ideas, great. Like we're always open to ideas, but try that first, right? And then let's talk about it. Take a leap of faith with the leader, as I've explained. And the second one is this, right? How you make people feel, or how people feel around you, is so important. How people feel around you, they'll forget what you said, they'll remember how you made them feel. So how do you apply that to the 3 things that we just said? How does it apply? And it is so simple. Educate yourself. The first thing is, look, how do you make you feel? Are you excited about you? Are you excited about the opportunity that you have? The second thing is this: if you have someone on your team, how do you feel about that person? Are you willing to go out of your way to help them and set aside that time? You know, that invested time, you guys, will multiply big time the time that you invest with someone. And then as a leader, are you prepared to get your new person in the game and be there for them? Give them that sense of security that, hey, listen, we're in this thing together. We'll present together. We'll get their questions answered together. If there's something that we can't answer together, give us 24 hours. We'll have an answer. It removes all the fear. And now you are off building your business. And we are in the middle of you guys understanding the core philosophies to make April a month where you are going to accomplish whatever that goal is. Last thing I'm going to leave with you is this: whatever your next goal is, please write it down. Please write it down.
And I don't care if that goal is a point goal. I'm getting to 75 points this month. Now, if you have 74, please don't put 75 as your goal. I'll lose my mind. That should be done by lunch. Okay. But if you're at 20 points, let's make it a 75 point goal. If you're 100 points or less from regional director, son of a gun, regional director or even regional coordinator, let's make this a 100-point month for you and your team. And let's get this thing done. You guys, like, for real, let's get it done. Okay. Last thing I'm going to share with you is this and it pertains to what I just said. A bunch of us were on the regional coordinator and above call with the co-founders yesterday, and Greg Provenzano, the president of the company, he said, "Listen, here's a couple thoughts and maybe some advice." And he said this, and I typed it as fast as I could when he was saying it. And he said, "Don't date your goals. Put a date on your goals." So what does that mean when you say don't date your goals? He's literally saying, right, you talk about them, you love your goals, you're hanging out with your goals. Don't date your goals, put a date on your goals. So the point is this: set a goal, get after it. You know, with my leaders, I'd say a weekly goal and a monthly goal. What's your weekly goal for customers? What's your weekly goal for exposures and IBOs? What's your monthly goal for customers? What's your monthly goal for customers and IBOs? That's a very simple thing to set up. If you're not sure how to do it, just get with the leader who knows your business. You guys, so Julian, that's what I wanted to go over today. Hope people will remember that Henry Ford example. I thought it was good. I thought it was really appropriate. And you know, here we're back hanging out in April together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish for you guys this month and really advance everybody's businesses. So Julian, I'll turn it back over to you. Thanks, everybody.
Everyone. But first of all, I just want to thank you, Mr. Tarrolly, for being on the call, for sharing the perspective. And all of you understand why Mr. Tarrolly's been so successful year after year, quarter after quarter. And it's because of the mindset and the philosophy and going out there and putting those things to work. And so just to recap, for all of you, Mr. Tarrolly talked about educating yourself. There's 3 steps: educate yourself, practice time, gain time. Educate yourself. Number 1, we can educate you, but you cannot educate yourself. You can show up, but not be present. And he went into what that means. And then number 2, leader doing a presentation, join in. Try not to do anything alone, whether it's you're calling someone, inviting them out, 3-way call, do everything with someone. And then practice time. When you have a leader that has a game plan, it works out. The game time, get great at results by protecting the system, protect what's working. Everything rises and falls on duplication. Duplicating is simple. And when you take people through the process, they'll recognize that it is. Leaders are not using the buddy system. What did he say? Number 1, I do it, you watch. Number 2, we do it together. Number 3, you do it, I watch. Number 4, you do it, someone else watches. It is the key. And 90% of people that fail in business fail because they try to control everything and do everything themselves. So out of the small businesses that fail, 90% of them fail because they're solo and they don't have anyone duplicating anything. So you want to make sure you're duplicating. Try things before they make changes. Great leaders doesn't see hierarchies. He sees human beings. And that's from the video. And that was powerful. And if you can understand those, you can get in the trenches and do the work. Mr. Tarrolly, that was amazing training. I appreciate you, sir, for everything that you do as a family man, as a human being, as a leader. It's amazing that we've known each other for so long, but over the years, you continue to reinvent yourself, to reinvent your organization, and you continue to succeed.